Honorable Mayor Fowler,
Here.
Honorable Councilman Bilbrey,
Here.
Honorable Councilman Williams, Honorable Councilwoman Hawkins,
Here.
Honorable Vice Mayor Hill.
Present.
I will ask you now to consider the agenda as it's presented and the minutes of our last council meeting. We can take care of that. I guess we can combine that as one motion, but I would ask you take a minute to look at the minutes if you haven't already and see if there are any changes that need to be made.
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda and the minutes jointly.
Thank you. We have a motion. Now, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Next item on the agenda is to consider approval to appoint 3 people to the Cemetery Commission with a term expiring June 2030. It's my understanding that we have had some interest in people willing to take on this commission. One is Imogene Puckett, another is Jennifer Coots, and I don't have, I think there's a Brandon, but I don't have his last name. Brummett. Oh, is he out? Okay. And I have also volunteered to be on the Cemetery Commission. My family's there, and sometimes I feel like I know more people there than I do here. So anyway, I'll leave it to the council to make a motion or have any questions that we could possibly cover here. I know Miss Puckett has been on the Cemetery Commission for some time and has, faithfully served in that regard.
I think after talking with at work session last night, I believe the biggest concern was should these folks be living inside the city limits, and I think that Mr. Brummond, Chief, is it? Yeah, I think was discussed that he lives outside of the city limits. While I hate that would, I don't know if we want to say disqualify him or anything, but I think the preference should be those living inside of the city limits, serving on a cemetery commission that's under the city. And with that, there's only 3 with Imogene Puckett, yourself, Mayor, and Jennifer. What was Miss Coots, and she and Miss Walker. She does live within the city. I'd make the motion for those 3 to serve as the cemetery commission with term expiring 2030.
Thank you. There's been a motion. Do I have a second to that?
Second.
Thank you, sir. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. Now we move on to another item that we needed a representative from All Good for, and that's to consider a representative to appoint someone to the Tennessee, again, referring to the work session last night. All I got, the name was John Bell, and I know he lives within the city. And then there was a Miss Virginia, and I did not get her last name. Do we know if she's inside the city? She is. Okay. Volunteered for that too. Okay, thank you.
I'll chime in.
Yeah.
I don't know with Miss Coots serving in the cemetery commission. I think let's let her serve on that. I don't know Miss Fillers. I do know John Bell very well. I think he would do a fantastic job, and I would make a motion to approve John Bell to the Tennessee Central Trail Authority as our city representative.
And I would second that motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Now, the fifth item on the agenda is to consider approval of an agreement with USG for maintenance of the Loftus Road water tank under our buy-board contract. I think we've all been furnished a copy of that agreement.
Do y'all have any questions on that?
I'd appreciate just a little overview. Walt, what just sum it up for us? I know there's some upfront fees that we have to pay for years 1 through
Yes, sir.
I think 4, and then it levels off, and it's
The-
just all for maintenance and
Yeah,
keeping the water tank up.
The first year, for the first 4 years, it's $35,142, and this is for the exterior and interior renovation of the tanks. For the first year, including pressure washing the tanks, it covers repainting the tanks, updating the screens for the overflows, overflow repairs, and replacing the seals around the bottom of the tank. And for the interior, it's, like for the paint inside, sandblast and all that. And also, in addition, we have a 5-year annual inspection on these tanks. And with this being the contract, they'll do those inspections, and we'll meet and exceed the TDEC 5
And then after year 4,
requirements. After the
I think it was
4,
11,000,
I believe that is correct.
and that 11,000 is then in perpetuity.
Yes,
So it's 35,000 for 4 years, and then $11,000 thereafter,
yes,
and that's 100% maintenance on that water tower. And your folks don't have the ability to maintain that to that level. I'm sure there's
no,
all
we do
sorts
not.
of rules that we have to abide by here. This
Yes.
would be your recommendation to go with this contract.
That would be my recommendation, and Mr. Morrison's.
I'll go ahead and make the motion that we approve the agreement with USG for maintenance of the Loftus Road water tank. Do I have a second? Thank you, Ms. Hawkins. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, under new business, we have item number 6. That is to consider for final reading ordinance 737-26, and to consider approval to suspend the second and final reading of 737-26, which just amends our municipal code relative to the cemetery commission. However, since it is here for second reading, it must be, we must have an open discussion. If there are any questions or comments, now would be the time. We're going to suspend the council meeting, and we will move into the public hearing section. Is there anyone who would like to be heard on this ordinance to define the cemetery commission? Okay, not hearing any comments, we'll close the public hearing. We will reopen the council meeting, and now the floor is open for if we intend to go ahead and adopt this. It's here for second reading, and I would entertain a motion to approve.
Make the motion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 7 is to consider approval and suspend the first reading of ordinance 738-26, which amends the fiscal year 5-2027 budget, which we passed specifically to add, I believe, 2 full-time firefighters. Is that correct, Chief Judd?
Yes, that's to add 2 full-time firefighters, so 12-hour during the day to 24-hour a day, 360.
I've looked over what you left for us this evening, and is there anything? I would give you the opportunity to speak if you so desire.
Thank you. I would like to go ahead and thank you all for the investments you have made in public safety for the last couple of years. I'm sorry. I'd like to thank you for the investments this council have made into public safety in the last couple of years. During last night's work session, I was asked a few questions, and hopefully I can answer some of those. To me, Allgood's the greatest place to live, and the secret's out. People now realize just how great a place to work and live this place is. As this city has grown and businesses are coming in and residents are coming in, their needs and their wants are growing as well. And that's forcing the fire department to have to adapt and overcome and change our response model. No longer are we just responding to the occasional fire alarm and maybe a fire here and there. Now we are active in community risk reductions. We're visiting businesses as they come in and apartments, trying to look for problems before they happen, because the best way to stop a fire is to stop it before it happens. We are responding to 70% medical. We have licensed, trained medical personnel that are trained to get there before Putnam County EMS and perform life-saving interventions. We've had tremendous success this year with AED saves, deploying AEDs before Putnam County Ambulance can get there. They do a great job, but these guys for the Allgood Fire Department are dedicated to this city. You made the investment in buying extrication equipment for the fire department. We no longer have to wait for a truck to come from Cookeville to rescue people from vehicle accidents. We have that capability now. The whole thing about volunteer firefighting has changed. Your volunteer firefighters no longer work within the city. They work outside. They work for more corporate jobs that do not allow the flexibility to leave during the day to respond to calls. And so during the day, anytime, that puts a strain on our response to fight fires. A fire grows exponentially within the first few minutes of fire. Within the first 5 minutes, you can go from a small trash can on fire to a full response, being a room on fire, from one side of the town to the other. Right now, after 7 p.m. until 7 a.m. in the morning, our firefighters have to respond from home, get the truck, and then respond to the fire. If we can get that truck there quick and put water on that fire, that eliminates the main issue of firefight. The biggest thing to do when your house is on fire is put it out. So this to me, it's not a want. It's something I want. Of course, I'm the fire chief, but this is the next logical step in showing that Allgood is ready to take that next step forward. This one step won't dramatically improve our insurance rates, But this step, along with the equipment we have invested in, the training we have invested in, the water line that Public Works is investing in, all these together will culminate, and hopefully that's the goal going forward, is lower everybody's insurance rates and save lives, protect property. So I hope, I thank you for your consideration of this. I also thank you once again for your support to the fire department.
Thank you, Chief. And I think as we discussed last night, these 2 additional firefighters have not been budgeted for, correct?
No, they have not.
And that would cost the city an additional $207,000 if we add 2 to the capability of the fire department now, and that would have to come from our fund balance, which would be a recurring expense.
Yes, firefighters don't work your traditional 80-hour week, 40-hour week, 80-hour bi-weekly. They're allowed to work you work 106 hours, and then anything after that is overtime. So on a 2-week pay period, a firefighter will work approximately 120 hours.
Any discussion?
I'll jump in. Chief Judd, we appreciate you and all the efforts that you've put into this. We would not be where we are today without your efforts. And you're right. We're taking steps. We're taking steps to be even bigger and better. This past year, just recently, I mean, we just bought, the extrication stuff, the 2 new fire engines. And my concern is that, and we are ready for the next step, right? But these are steps we need to be taking methodically. I do think it's the right thing to have 24/7 coverage, but I also think the right thing is that we need to be able to pay for it. And sometimes is a little concern, and because if we're just going to dip into that for this, we're going to have to dip into it for the next year and the next year and the next year. My concern is how are we going to pay for it, long term? And I agree with you though; it's needed, and now my concern is how do we pay for it and not break the budget? We've gone over budget this year, and we're fingers crossed that there's going to be some extras along the way this year. We're already over the budget. I wish Mr. Morrison was here, and unfortunately he's out for wedding prep or something. I think he said we're over budget right now, and that has me concerned to add another item that's going to take us over that budget. So that's my concern. I'll stop talking.
Well, that's my concern as well. It's that we have to be good stewards, and if we continue to drop or withdraw from the fund, then we're not going to have that to build upon.
You're exactly right. We're supposed to be good stewards of the money, and like I said, I appreciate you letting me speak on this. It's a passion of mine, and we have these businesses and stuff that's coming in that are contributing. To me, we need to protect those businesses. I mean, a fire at one of our large big box stores would be devastating to our local economy.
But in all fairness, we do have a mutual aid agreement, and we can always call, and sometimes they come whether we ask or not, is my understanding.
We do have mutual aid agreements, and I am working on strengthening those. But I can point out the Maddox Court fire. We called for a apparatus from another department, and because they had truck issues, it was delayed. They had to call and make sure that they could leave their jurisdiction to come here because they only had the one truck to cover. So we're working together, and I get on my soapbox about mutual aid.
No.
I think mutual aid is the greatest thing ever, and I wish there was more cooperation between every department.
Let me ask a question. Is there something pressing that it has to happen this year? Just to reiterate, we just went through the budget. We created this budget and we said we're going to stick by this budget. And then, I mean, we're really not even, I mean, we just a couple of months from having it approved by the state that it was, we're now looking at and saying, hey, we're going to go do something outside of that budget. Is there something that's pressing right now that we need to do it now versus is this something that maybe we can wait another and you'll put this in next year's budget? What's pressing here in the here and now that makes this a something that should be done in the here and now?
So you look, when I became chief, we are busier than doubled, and I've been chief for 4 years in Putnam County, and that's a lot to put on 2 full-time guys. I think at this point in the year, I have responded to approximately 200-something calls myself. Nick is right behind me on that call volume, and you keep hitting a rock. Eventually, that rock's going to wear down, and that's my worry about, wearing my volunteers out, wearing my full-time employee out. It's a lot to respond. So Nick is off at 7 p.m. He covers the city from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. He is on call. So he is running calls all night long sometimes, and he has to come in the next day and cover his normal shift.
And another thing, David don't get a vacation. There's no one there to cover for him. And if there's a fire truck up there, there's some guy can just jump in it and go if there's a fire. It's not right for him to have to work all the hours that
Well,
he does.
this city is a passion of mine. I love this place. This is home for me. So I did it for free for 20 years as a firefighter here.
And we see you're passionate about it. We appreciate that tremendously. It's what makes your department great is your leadership. So we appreciate you. I personally would like to give us a little bit of a month or two to give Mr. Morrison a chance to say how do we pay for it? Is there some savings, some expenses that we can cut? Is there something that we can do? Because we are taking those big steps, and we want you to have everything. We want our citizens to have everything, but we want to do it methodically and that we can pay for it. And I think, last night we had some good discussions about thoughts. I didn't really get a lot from Mr. Morrison. I would take the position that we table it for, and this is not a motion, this is just a suggestion, just me talking. I think we should maybe table this for a month, give Mr. Morrison some time to educate us on how we're going to pay for it. That's really my biggest thing. This is not, there's nothing. This is all finances at this point in time because we've got a big budget this year and we've surpassed that budget.
And something that's concerning to me, and of course this would be something Mr. Morrison would speak to, is I don't want us to be in the position of robbing Peter to pay Paul. And I don't want another department to do without something to fund a different department. I mean, all of our departments are important and are equally valuable to the city. And so I do think, I don't know what has changed in 2 months' time, or well, we passed the budget in May, but why the department, and this isn't done criticism, this is just, I don't to us at the time we were going through the budget process. And that might have been something we could have worked out then, but as of now, it's a big ask. And I agree with the Vice Mayor that we could table this for a month and get more information regarding the expense and where that's going to come from. Do you all have anything else? Any questions or comments?
I'd go ahead and make the motion, table it for a month, and get some feedback from Mr. Morrison as how best to pay for this and how do we plan for this long term.
I would second that motion to table this until we get some more information about the expense and where that's going to fall within the city. We have a motion and we have a second, and I will ask all those in favor to say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That would be myself, Mr. Bilbrey, and Mr. Hill, and Ms. Hawkins. You're voting no, correct? Did I hear that right? Okay. Okay. This item will be tabled until next month. All right, number 8, consider approval of the McMahon Truck Centers for the purchase of a used service truck in the amount of $45,534. And Mr. Public Works Director, would you like to speak to that?
I would. We'll do 8 and 9 because they're kind of together for the PacMac vacuum truck as well. What we're looking at is a used crane truck from McMahon Truck Centers for $45,534. And for the vacuum, we budgeted $325,000, which we came in under that at $285,40. So what Mr. Morrison and I discussed is that with buying this used truck, we can take the $285 and the $39,460 is what we would have left, and we'd have to take $5,500 out of sidewalks or something to purchase these two vehicles, and we budgeted $125,000 for a new crane truck. And if we do this, we can save the $125,000 to put into water or sewer repairs, something like that. So it's, with buying this used truck, $125,000, getting under budget with the new vac truck, something like to help the city. And with this new vac truck, it is a one-man truck. Because right now we have a 1985 dump truck that we converted into a leaf truck with a Tarco Windy Series vac, and I mean they're out of date, and it takes about 5 to 6 guys to run that truck. With this new truck, it'll take 1 guy, maybe 2, and also with this truck you can pick up trash on the side of the road, not big trash, but like paper, and clean off sidewalks and stuff like that. And as of right now, our leaf, collection, it stops at March 3rd. And with this new truck, that'll be gone. We can continue all year to pick up leaves because it'll be a one-man thing. We can run it out anytime we want it. So.
I happened to attend a seminar this past weekend, and I actually got a picture of the Pac-Man truck.
Yes.
Is that what you are looking at? Okay. It's here, and I'll share it with anyone who wants to look at it closer, but it does look much more contained, and I'm sure it is a need. And coming in under budget, of course, always pleases us.
Oh yeah, yeah, most definitely. But yeah, like I said, it saved us an abundance of money that we can put towards the city, sewer wise or water wise.
Walk me through that math one more time. You say that we're budgeted at
We budgeted
325, and you're getting this Pac
yes,
Mac truck for $285. So the delta is about $40,000.
yes, it's $39,460 exactly.
So $39,460 is the delta
Yeah.
there. So you're good on the budget on this budgeted item by almost $40,000. You're going to take that $40,000 and how you did some math there that I
Yes.
want to make sure I follow.
We're going to take the truck that we're buying is $45,000.
Okay.
And we have the $39,460,
Mhm.
but we're going to have to take $5,500 from sidewalks, something like that.
Sure.
Just a small amount to finish the purchase.
Okay.
And then that'll complete that and still leave us with $125,000.
Where did the $125,000 come from? Is that another budgeted line item?
That's budgeted.
I got you.
Yes.
What is budgeted for $125,000 then?
Do I know?
What line item is budgeted for the $125,000?
It's a water sewer
It's in water sewer for
for the crane truck.
the crane truck.
Yes. But
gotcha.
since we saved all that money, coming under budget for all we got to do is just take 5,000
Both these trucks, and then you're releasing the other line item of $125,000 for the crane truck back into.
back into
Water
water
sewer.
Back
Water
into
sewer
water
fund.
sewer. Yep.
Understood. Thank you.
Yep.
Sorry, it took me a minute.
No, you're good. It's a lot.
It's that new math that I don't.
So,
I have trouble with.
If I understood correctly, that the truck is ready, the leaf truck is ready to go. I mean, it's ready to be picked up.
we can have it next week.
Okay. And the used service truck, is that also ready?
It's also ready. Yes. But like right now, I have to send a few guys, out, and I'll have them clean up ditches. And with this truck, just one guy. I mean, it's remote from inside, and he can, clean out the ditches, pick up leaves, all that from inside the truck.
So you're freeing up manpower for them to go
Oh,
do
yeah.
something other things.
Most definitely.
Well, I think we need to, since these are actually financial items, I think we need to, even though we're talking about both of them, I think we need to do separate motions for each.
Yes.
So I would make the motion that we purchase the used service truck in the amount of $45,534. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Now, number 9, which we've discussed, is the vacuum truck. And it's in the amount of $285,540. $285,540. And that's the one that you were just talking about, that's
Yes.
can be operated by one person.
Correct.
I'll go ahead and make a motion that we purchase that as well. Is there a second to that?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Number 10. Consider approval to surplus the 1985 Mack truck and the Tarco Leaf Vac.
Yes.
And I know at the work session we discussed this, is this an addition that we need to make to this, is the 151 water
Yes.
meters?
We have 151 used water meters, and we have a company that comes every year, and they buy them, and we just need to get them surplus so we can sell those.
Okay, so we want to add the 85 Mack truck, the Tarco Leaf Vac, and the excess, or the 151 water, and recover some of the money that we are spending. So I would make a motion that we go ahead and surplus the Mack truck, the Leaf Vac, and the additional 151 water meters. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Right. Now we look at item number 11, which has to do with the street paving bid. We need to award someone this contract. So I think you have those materials in your packet.
Yes. So we had 2 bidders. We had Copeland DRP and we had Rogers Group. And for Copeland DRP, for the roads that we are needing done, they came in at $594,000. and Rogers Group came in at 503,500. But we only have budgeted 145,000 for street paving. So I guess what we need to do is decide, which ones we want to do. So, Williams Circle, Copeland came in at 86,000. Rogers Group came in at 72,000. Randy Road, Copeland came in at 278,000, and Rogers Group came in at 234,000. Just for those two streets right there. And these other ones, they are the small streets. They're, a little smaller, a little cheaper. But Dry Valley Road, Copeland came in at 32,000. Rogers Group came in at 31,750. For Main Street, that is at where you come out of Walmart and you turn right onto Main Street, that dip, to get that fixed. Copeland came in at 18,000. Rogers Group came in at 11,250. For Swift Street, Copeland came in at 16,000, and Rogers Group came in at 23,500. For Markwater, Copeland came in at 18,000. Rogers Group came in at 15,400. Joey Street, Copeland was 34,000. Rogers Group was 28,000. And Cooper Road, Copeland came in at 112,000, and Rogers Group came in at 87,600. For the total on those, Copeland's was 230,000, and Rogers Group was 197,500. So that's quite a few numbers there. We have considered those. Yes, sir. There's I agree with you. There's a lot of roads we need to do. Yeah. Let's see, Riley's Path was done in 2016 for a total of 23,800. The last time that we did Mirandy on the other side of 111, it hasn't been since 2007. The only thing we did was we striped in 2020. I do agree. Now, we have been talking with, I can't think of his name, the guy at Builder Supply, and, okay. Anyway, there is holes there from where the trucks turn in. We're constantly going over there filling it in, and we're talking with him about concreting that. Because, we've asphalted it, and we've rocked it, and it's just constant. As soon as they come out, they turn, it just digs down into the pavement. So, but yeah, we're in talks with him about concrete.
Have y'all been over on that RC Buck Road?
Which section?
Have you seen those big hoes?
Yes.
Other cars come?
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We're talking about concreting that, because we've put, since I've been here, we've put 2 loads of asphalt in it, and it's in a matter of time. It's gone. It's from where those trucks come out and they turn and they just rip it out. I was over there the other day and I filled it in.
When they're fixed, somebody needs to talk to that block plant. Tell them when they're messed up that they need to be.
Well, he's going to be part of it. They caused the issue. And his name is Clark. But yeah, I know exactly what y'all are talking about.
And if a car hits it, it's going to knock the whole front end.
And I did miss a pothole over there, though. It's right there by the tracks. but I still, I mean, yeah, I got you. Okay.
So are we actually looking at doing just food at the 300 right now anyway? Or are we looking to do total, which
Well-
is 503,000?
Well, we only have 145, but we have in the state street aid, we have 390,000 that we can take a little bit from, because that's through the year of like when we do repairs, guardrails, stuff like that. And then, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Morrison sent everybody an email about. Did y'all get that?
Don't know.
No. But yeah, he sent an email. Let's see. If you want to, this is what he's saying. If you want to take that 40,000 that we were going to buy, that we saved out of the leaf truck, you can take that and add to the asphalt, but we'd have to use the 125 that we budgeted to buy the used crane truck, which would leave us with 80,000 to do water and sewer with. Did I lose you? Okay.
You've lost me here. It's
Okay.
here's where I'm at on this. Is and let me ask you this, because this is a threshold question for me. Paving needs to be done when? What's the latest we can do paving?
I think when is September? Yeah, it's
Okay.
That's when they
here's
they
what I
shut
hear.
it down.
I hear they have some concerns over here that they're. You showed us a list of roads that
Yes.
you feel need attention, and I don't disagree. I don't know concrete. You know concrete.
yes.
You've got streets that need attention. The streets these gentlemen just discussed, they weren't on our thing. So I think they need to be considered. I would love to see, and we only have a finite amount of money for this. We got the 140,
145.
145. And then we can dip into the state street aid, is what Mr. Morrison said.
Yes.
But we don't want to go too dippy.
No.
So I would love to see, your recommendation as to what streets need it now. I mean, because there's going to be different levels of attention that these streets need. I don't think, I've been up Cooper. I don't think it needs to be addressed
No.
right now. I think it needs to be sometime. That little dip in Maine, I don't think that needs to be addressed now. I mean, if these gentlemen have a man-eating pothole that needs to be addressed, I think it needs to be considered. So
And
I would almost ask for you to redo the list with the streets that have been brought up tonight, and give us a good recommendation as to what needs to be addressed in the here and now.
I do agree with the potholes, but in my opinion, it's going to be a waste of money. It's going to be get the what? There's going to be sections of that road where those big trucks come in and out. Yes. The block plant. Yes. It's going to have to be concreted. Like I said, we've threw asphalt, rock, and it just pushes it out.
You go through there. I'm not kidding you. That big hole. You go
It's
through.
bad. It's bad.
And another thing that's been brought to our attention, the car is messed up. They're just going to fix it.
But yeah, like I said, I went over there the other day with a backhoe and I filled that hole back in. I mean, it's probably already washed out now. I mean,
How big area are we talking about cutting out?
probably, let's see, at the entrance. Because like I said, we've talked to Clark about this, and we're supposed to, he's gonna help pay for it, because he does it. And I'd say probably the first one, probably about the width of a road. So let's say, what was the width? Like 20 feet. So I'd say probably about a 30 by 20 foot for there. But now over at the curve, that's gonna be a big chunk. I'd have to measure that.
What, a couple of yards of concrete?
No, If I was to guess, probably off the top of my head, 15, 20 yards. It's going to be a good section. How much is a yard? About 165. It's a good section.
Well, if
Phase
we,
one,
sorry.
already bested.
Well, it seems like if we're going to change the streets, then we're going to have to rebid because this was done especially for the items listed.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
if
These are what, you know,
if we start adding or subtracting or whatever,
but for that street, like I said, that's concrete. That's totally different. You know, that'll have to be something different. Yeah. That's nothing to do with this. Yeah, we can still continue with this. This is asphalt. Yeah, that's another issue.
But which issue's bigger? I mean, I'd hate to table two things and say, hey, we need to consider this issue with the block plant,
Yeah.
but it sounds like it. It sounds like we need to consider it, and I'm hesitant to spend the money on what we've bid out
Mm.
when we can use that money on the thing that possibly needs to be considered to be addressed first.
I understand what you're saying. But I mean, it's y'all's decision. It's fault. This right here, like I said. So, but it's up to y'all.
well, if we table it a month, is that going to put you behind? I know we can't do paving when the weather gets bad. And of course,
No, you cannot.
we've just, if we move it to August, then will that put, you in a bind?
It won't put me in a bind. No.
Okay. It might put Rogers Group or Copeland in a bind. I don't know if they're available.
I mean, I think what the mayor's asking is if we postpone this a month, we're not going to be getting into some situation where we're like, well, we got to push this back into 2027 because we dillied and dallied. I mean, how fast can they mobilize to fix when we say, hey, let's go fix X road?
They move pretty quick.
Okay.
So, I mean, whoever gets the bids, they're ready to go. But like you were saying, Joey Lane, it's not that bad. What it is, it's where they've went through there and we've had all this sewer redone, and there's a lot of dips, a lot of patches. That's about that. And same thing with Dry Valley, and of course, Main Street is the manhole there that's sideways. But I mean, it's $234,000 just for Mirandy. We got 145. So
I'd make a motion to table it so you can consider it. If anybody has any concerns about their road, they want to be put on the road, Mr. Bradshaw will consider, and then I'd look for a recommendation for you next month, Mr. Bradshaw, to say, hey, what streets we need to consider first. What's the priority? I mean, I'm surely to God, there's some, you can rank them as to this street is just doing bad and we need to address it now versus these can wait until the next budgetary cycle. That's my motion.
All right. Excuse me. There's a motion to table item number 11 concerning the street paving bid. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Item number 12 is to consider approval to award a bidder in the feel the crack patched.
Yes.
That I think we only had one
Yes,
bidder, isn't that correct?
we had one bidder, and that was R.J. McLeod Asphalt. And he came in with an asphalt ceiling at 18 cents a square foot, striping at 54 cents a linear foot, crack filling $2 per linear foot, and a minimum requirement job size of $450. And Mr. Morrison, he's already got a few chosen. I mean, he's wanting to do City Hall, the community center. We got to do Burton Branch and Cooper Road. We'll probably throw that one in there because it's got a lot of cracks and grass growing through it. But yes, he's the only one that he's the only one that bid.
I'll make the motion to approve R.J. McLeod for crack ceiling as needed by Mr. Bradshaw.
I second that. All those in favor of awarding this to McLeod's Asphalt, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Now we move on to our department heads. And I don't know, Chief Judd, if you covered yours already or if you've got something you can add.
Well, I'm not a great orator, so, we'll just have to deal with that. No, I would like to take a moment to recognize members of my fire department and members of the Allgood Police Department. We had a call here recently. A resident of Allgood suffered a sudden cardiac arrest. Thanks to the efforts and teamwork between our two departments, he is home now. He is doing better. We were able to arrive on scene quickly, initiate CPR, put an advanced airway down this patient's throat, and give him 2 shocks with AED before EMS arrived. And I got a message on Facebook that he's home and doing better. Still a long road to recovery. Our prayers and thoughts are with him, but I would like to recognize the police department for
Haven't worn you out, Mr. Bradshaw. Do you have?
No,
Okay.
you're good. You're good. I'm good. I'm sure you've noticed there's some construction going on here, and what that is, we are getting our new 12-inch line put in, and it is going to run down to Durant Street in front of Barky Beaver, and that's where it's going to stop. And we are going to be discontinuing the 4-inch, which we've been having a lot of trouble here out of, it's just an old line. It's been in since, if I was to guess, probably the 20s or 30s, something like that. But yeah, just I know it's an inconvenience to some people. Just be mindful of the workers and stuff. And Public Works did 700 through there, and so.
The Parks and Rec shop is finally done. I was beginning to wonder, but it is done, and we are thrilled with the building. We feel like we've got a very nice building, especially for the money. Appreciate Mr. Lane helping through the whole thing to make sure that happened. So we've just got a little organization and moving in type stuff to do, but it is done. Mayor wrote the check, signed the check for that recently. Pretty excited that happened. So myself and the employees are extremely happy to have that. So we're very thankful, and we appreciate your support. We've needed that for a long time, and that's a huge addition for us, and we appreciate it.
I'm not going to bore you with a lot of stats. I'll give you the quick ones right off the top. We had approximately 1,040 separate incidents, things that we worked. 249 traffic stops and 57 citations. Got a couple of my officers the other night were working midnights, and I'm very thankful for their diligence and them being very vigilant. We had a vehicle going southbound in the northbound lane of 111, and my officers got them stopped before any injuries could occur. And I'm very proud of those gentlemen for doing their jobs properly. That's all I've got.
I think that's wonderful, and I think that we heard from the department heads, and I think that we clearly understand your positions, and that we want you to know we're doing everything we can to make your lives easier and better serve the citizens. And I commend all of you and your staffs for doing such a great job.
Can I ask one quick question, Mr. Phipps? The one thing we cannot control is the weather.
correct.
Our 4th of July situation. Do you want to speak to that? I've had a lot of people ask questions about the 4th of July, and it just can't. You can't control the weather. And the one question I get is, why didn't we have a rain date? And I know the reason why, but I thought I'd just give you a chance to. You all did. You did 99. I mean, you did it great. The weather just didn't cooperate.
We did rain dances and had circle prayers, and we tried everything. It became too dangerous to have people out there. We probably should have stopped it before we did. Normally, every year we have a rain date. That rain date is always the Saturday after the event. This year, the calendar fell where Cookville's Red, White, and Boone every Saturday. So we didn't, as far as I know, and since I started doing fireworks here. So, of course, since I was involved, that's how that worked out. My luck is that way. It's 100% my fault that we got rained out. It's the universe against me. That's the reason. The main problem with trying to do a rain date is getting the band, getting the food vendors, getting the sound production, all that. It's the fireworks contractor is really easy to work with to come back, but I have to set everything up all over again. That's hard enough when there's not a large competing event going on in the county, because a lot of those vendors will be there. So we would have been in a position where we were having a fireworks show at 9 o'clock and nothing else, which would have been cool enough, but that's the biggest problem with doing that. So we crossed our fingers and didn't set a rain date and hoped for the best, and then that happened. So I feel like if Keith's luck could have used his luck that day instead of mine. But I know everybody was disappointed. I don't think anybody was disappointed more than we were. You still have to do all the same prep and work and everything, so we look forward to putting on that show. It is a lot to do, but we take a lot of enjoyment in watching people have a good time at that, and it's a huge bummer for that to happen. And we've agreed with the other cities not to compete. Like we've spoken with Cook years ago, Cookville and Monterey and Baxter, all for those same reasons. You know, we don't want to have our show when they're having theirs, or vice versa. So we've worked out that. That's why ours is always the Saturday before the 4th. I said that. We're going to look at next year. The 4th is on a Sunday, and July 3rd, of course, would be the Saturday before the 4th, but it's the night before the 4th. So I said we have a rule that we may break next year and actually do it on June 26th. That's looking like that's going to be the best way to get the vendors that we need. So
Will we be getting any credit back from the fireworks people?
yes, yeah. Well, so there's a rain cancellation written into the contract. It's a $12,000 show that we paid 50% of $6,000 at the time of the signing of the contract, which you all voted on in November of last year, I believe. So we paid then, which meant the day of the show we would owe them another $6,000. The clause in there, because of the rain date, as long as we call it and communicate with them and it's an actual deal, we didn't have to pay that $6,000 the day of, but they do keep the original deposit because they do buy the 75 that's set up, and that's what we had agreed to. damage from the rain. They had to get a hazmat crew to come get them because they're not in the original packaging now, so their license didn't allow them to transport it, and had to have a police escort out of town, all that good stuff. So yeah, we saved 50% of it. We just didn't have to pay that remaining $5,000 the day of the show, or $6,000. I'm sorry.
Well, I know we've dealt with the same company for several years, and is there a possibility that we might look at some other options with fireworks vendors?
Yeah, we're always looking at every option. The goal is the best bang for the buck, for that, so to speak. So they've always done a real good job with us. It's been several years. We've dealt with them for 12, 13 years, maybe 10 at least. Mark's Pops, yeah. So moving forward, but they have changed their rain date cancellation language in the contract. They did that the first of this year. It didn't have anything to do with our show. It was some other customers that they'd had some problems with. So they have changed the language. We had already signed our contract, so we're under their old language. So as we move forward into next year, we'll see how that new language affects us. And if we feel like it's a negative, then we will look for something else. As long as we feel like we're going to get our money's worth, then we're fine.
Thank all of you gentlemen, and now if we have any citizens that would like to be heard on an issue, now is your time. I'd ask you to come up to the podium and tell us your name and what's going on.
I've got something that several residents of Allgood has spoken, and I said, well, let me talk to Keith and Walt. They thought this needed to come in front of the council. The red light at Walmart, I don't think there's enough time on the main street either side to allow traffic to get through there. It favors the Walmart side maybe too much. And I know I hadn't paid a whole lot of attention to it, but the other day I noticed the traffic was backed up clear down here at the church in the middle of the day at lunch. And it took 4 light changes for me to get through that red light. And I don't, how long has that been adjusted a long time?
Actually, I called Tommy probably a month ago about it.
Oh, so you're.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know
So
about it.
it's really beginning to cause a problem. We're backing traffic up. The traffic has gotten so heavy, but there's been 3 or 4 people said, would you go to the council? And so maybe this will get put on the front burner. Maybe we can get, City of Cookeville takes care of the light.
Yes, they do.
I don't know how much time it needs, but a lot more time.
Yeah, working.
4 light changes.
I mean, I've seen it because I have to wait to get through there too. Then I get there, and it's working. But yeah,
It
I've
just
been
don't
in
give you much
contact
time
with.
to get through there. Now, the Walmart side, you get a lot more time on that side. And maybe we need to equal that up or something, but.
Yeah. Because I get a lot of, calls about Quinlan Lake red light too on 111. I mean, it's just, I don't know what it is about it. It's just, you would think so. But like I said, I've called Tommy. And I mean,
My name is Corey Mullins. I live over here on 78 Quinlan Lake Road. I'm permanent resident of Allgood. I have a public nuisance. I was driving down 177 Webb, and I caught a nail after I had just got it fixed. And I heard that someone's been throwing nails. There was a public worker, one of you guys, Mr. Carl, what's his name, Jones. He was picking up the nails the other day, and I appreciate that, but I'd like that person to stop throwing nails while I drive down my street.
My name's Calvin Hayes. I'm permanent resident of Allgood, Tennessee, and I really enjoy living here, being here for a long time. I moved away for about 20 years, and I'm glad to be back. And I'm so glad of our chiefs and public works people. They do a very good job here. Very good job. But y'all know what I've been up here for because of my neighbor. And I was out in my yard the other night. I had sockets, 2 sockets threw at me. Luckily, they didn't hit me. The next morning, it's raining. I'm riding my bicycle down the road on 177 Webb Avenue. All of a sudden, I see something go across in front of me. It happens to be a rock, a big rock. So I stop and turns around. And when I turns around, I see my neighbor picks up another rock and throws at me again. So I comes up here and I tell the officers, and that's all I can do. But with that being said, if y'all allow me, I got a picture that I like to just for people to look at. Nobody comment on it. I just like for everybody to look at it if they would like to. But nobody did not have to comment on the picture. But if y'all don't want to look at it, that's fine. We don't have to. But if anybody's willing, if y'all allow me, if anybody want to look at this picture. You do?
Don't want anything inappropriate.
Then I had a phone call the other day that somebody in my neighborhood had a gun. But when some people seen this picture, they said that it was nothing. I had one person tell me that. This is what I've been dealing with for a year. So if y'all do not understand my upsetness about this, I'm trying to keep myself being a good person in this neighborhood. You like to see it again, sir? So all I'm saying, guys, is I come up here and I beg y'all, you know, I'm just trying to live. I get up early in the morning, I ride my bike. I've been asked not to go down these roads. Hey, I'm going to enjoy my life in this town of Allgood that I once grew up in. As these people have said, that we have grown. That red light, sir, we have grown. So it's going to take 4 red lights to get to where you're going to go because Allgood's not like it used to be when I was going to Allgood School up here in Allgood. So all I'm saying, y'all, is y'all tell me things changed. Let's all accept the change to Allgood. Or let's help this whole town of Allgood, everybody. And Mr. Walt, no offense to you, but we do have other paved roads over there, not just that one by the block plants. You know, there's RC Bug. You know, there's all we got paved roads over here too. But all my life, we've been the last ones to be get took care of. You know, and to Deputy Chief, hey, I ain't got no squabs, you know, but I guarantee y'all, he got squabs with me. Now, I just want to enjoy my life because this has been going on for a year and I've been asking for help. And when y'all tell me there's nothing y'all can do, I'm going to take that to heart. And when I do what I do, please tell me that it's nothing that y'all can do, okay? Because that's all I've been getting. So nobody comment on the picture.
Thank you, Mr. Hayes. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? All right. Our next meeting is scheduled for August the 11th, I believe, for the council and that we adjourn. Yes, to be correct? We need a second.
Second.
Thank both of you. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All right, we're adjourned. Thank you.